Hello, dear viewers.
We know it takes a while because YouTube likes to be a bitch on occasions. By the way, this is the first time we're actually doing this before 8 o'clock, which is somewhat of a miracle, I guess you could say. Usually we start these somewhere around 8 to 8:15, depending on internet speeds, but sometimes we get lucky. And hello there, dear viewers. It is the dear UG here once again, and we are back for more NFL and college football picks. Of course, your host with the most, the DOUG. And we also have one of our other pickers right now with us, Tasik. How you doing tonight, Tasik? Travis, unfortunately, cannot be with us tonight because of the UPS screwing him over. Travis will be back next week when he's got his office and game room set up. So he will be with us here next Wednesday. Also, my buddy Dave is not with us right now because, unfortunately, his dad is in the hospital. He's visiting him today. And that is way more important than our silly show we do here. So everyone, if you can, please put your hands in the air like you're giving your spirit energy to Goku and send all that love and appreciation to Dave and his family. And also send some to Ashley as well and her family as well because they're also going through some things. So send all that positivity out to those two people today. But we do have a special guest with us. While he doesn't make picks, he is a football fan of the New England Patriots. It is my buddy Rays. Hello, Rays. Hope you're having a good night tonight. You're a little guest tonight, so welcome. Hope you're having a good night tonight. Hope you're having a good night tonight as well, Tasik, and everyone else watching. And let's get to those recap of last week for college. For college last week, I did fucking terrible. Virginia Tech beat Boston College. BYU barely got by Oklahoma State. Tennessee did beat Alabama. Texas lost to Georgia, and we're going to talk about Texas in a minute. JMU got their first loss handed to them by Georgia Southerner, and Miami somehow escapes a win again with Louisville, putting me at 2-4 last week. But for the season, I am 30-24, so not bad. But yeah, we're going to talk about the Texas situation because if you did not watch that game, they threw a flag on pass interference. Texas fans were rightfully pissed off the Longhorns because it was the wrong call. They even showed it on replay. They threw a bunch of water bottles and stuff on the field, and then the refs overturned it. Now, Texas Longhorns did get fined, which I agreed with. But I want to know, and this is what I would be asking the SEC, how were the refs able to overturn the flag? Because I thought that was one of the flags you couldn't overturn or anything. Because even the Georgia Bulldogs coach was asking that.
You said it at the Virginia Tech and Miami game too.
Yeah, that was
the same call. Play that shouldn't have been overcalled because there wasn't enough evidence to overturn it, and it was overturned.
Yeah, so kind of weird on that. Kind of makes me worried because if the refs did it out of fear, you know, what the fans were doing, that almost every home team now is going to do that when the refs mess up a call. So, kind of a bad precedent, I say. So there's that. Now, of course, as far as for Week 7 of football, Saints lost to the Broncos in God-be painful fashion. Jaguars beat the Patriots in London. Bills beat the Titans easily. By the way, fuck the Titans. I think everybody on the planet hates the Tennessee Titans now for what they did this morning. We'll get to that later. Packers beat the Texans in a thriller. Eagles easily beat the Giants, which we got to talk about Daniel Jones later. Lions give the Vikings their first loss of the year. Falcons got destroyed by the Seahawks. Bengals beat the Browns easily, which we'll talk about the Browns. Colts beat the Dolphins. Redskins easily destroyed the Panthers. Rams beat the Raiders. Chiefs beat the Niners because, well, Niners have injury problems. Steelers beat the Jets because, well, Aaron Rodgers, which we'll get to later. Ravens beat the Bucs. For some reason, the Cardinals are winning.
Let's go.
Which, I don't know how you're able to get...
About me.
Yeah, I laughed about it, and you still won, so congratulations. So I won 11-4 for that particular week. I will give the season standings out in a second, because I have everything in front of me. Now, when we get to Dave's, Rosie, and Travis's picks, guys, I'm going to give them at the end of the video once we get past the final game of this week. I will give you guys their picks so we're not losing too much time. But let's talk about... Well, I bring up the season standings. Let's talk about the... the Titans. If you did not see what they did this morning... they had traded the best wide receiver to, well, the Kansas City Chiefs. They traded Hopkins to the Chiefs for a 4th round, maybe even a 5th round. Now, Titans, I know why you did it, because, you're rebuilding, you're just giving up on the season. But why on God's green earth would you send him to the enemy? Would you send him to the one team they didn't need anybody? You sent him to the dark side. You send him to pretty much the incarnation of the Emperor from Star Wars. You send him to Kansas City, who didn't need anything else. So Tennessee, on behalf of probably almost everybody who feels this way, maybe not, I don't know, but Tennessee Titans, go fuck yourself. Because I'm sure Bills fans are pissed, Ravens are pissed, Raiders are pissed, Chargers are pissed, Broncos are pissed, Niners are pissed because they could use some help. Buccaneers are pissed because they could use some help. So pretty much every team could be pissed. Tasik, how do you feel about what the Titans did, just pretty much handing the Chiefs a play on a silver platter?
You know what? I hope they don't win another game for the rest of the season.
The Titans?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And the Chiefs. Screw the Chiefs.
Well, we know that ain't going to happen for the Chiefs, unfortunately. The Chiefs will probably find ways to win again. Because we're not allowed to be happy in this world.
You got to remember them teammates that are dressed up in black and white.
Yeah, I know. But I don't really trust them with their injuries right now. Also, there is a rumor that Cooper Kupp could be going to the Pittsburgh Steelers. There have been talks about the Rams trading him, and that the Rams may also trade Matthew Stafford to the Vikings, which would be hilarious in itself. So there is that. And I know everyone's wanting the season standings, but I'm looking for them in the text. Because goodness, I got a lot of texts.
Look at my text if you want.
Yeah, that's what I need to do, because I think for Travis and Dave, it's a little bit too far back, because me and them text constantly. Well, I pull that up. Next team we got to talk about, the Giants. More specifically, Danny Dimes. As many of you may not know who didn't watch that game, he did get benched, and then in the post-game interview, he said, "I feel like the coaches gave up on me." So, do you think he should have said that and at the press conference, or he should have said that in the locker room, guys? It pretty much was garbage time per se, but they were still not out of the game, if that makes sense. Fair enough. Yeah. Tasik, what about you?
I agree with what Ray's just said.
All right. Good to know. Up next, we're going to Cleveland. Yes, we're going to Cleveland. As many of you know, their quarterback got injured. He's done for the year. They're going to be starting the backup the rest of the season, looks like Jameis Winston. So congratulations to him. Now, what I find a little hypocritical by all these sports people, they're mad that the Browns fans were cheering the injury. I don't think they were cheering the injury. I think they were cheering at the fact of now we can be competitive again, because if you look at that game, the Browns, once the backup went in, they only lost by a touchdown. So maybe the Browns can be competitive again. It might be too little too late, but, I kind of feel like, all the sports heads were like, oh, they need to bench Deshaun, he's not playing good, put the backup in to see what happens. And then when the injury happens and the fans are excited that they might be competitive again or could turn their season around, everybody gets pissed at them for cheering it. I think it's a little hypocritical. Was cheering probably wrong? Probably, just because, it does seem a little classless. But let's be honest here. This was probably the best thing for the Browns organization, if we're being honest. So, yep. So maybe Zappy will get some time in the light. But Tazza got Winston. Okay, so you think it's Winston who will be? But what about you, Tastic? Were you mad at the Browns fans doing this, or were you hunky dory for it?
I was mad at him, to be honest. You don't go and cheer for somebody being.
Well, I do agree with that, but like I said, I don't think they were cheering the injury per se. I think they were cheering. I hope this is what they were cheering for, that they
It
can be
don't.
competitive again. But
It don't matter if an injury helps your season. You still don't cheer on an injury at all. It still don't give you any reason.
yeah, I mean, because I'm going to say this, and I think Stephen, it might have been Stephen A. Concord said it best. You know the Browns are never going to bench Deshaun because you know all that money. So to a degree, the injury helps Cleveland. They don't have to make that decision, but it is still classless what the Browns fans did. I will agree with that. Uh, Moving on. Aaron Rodgers. Well, if you remember last week when I buried the son of a bitch, yeah, they lost to the Steelers again. And what did Aaron Rodgers say in the press conference first before taking accountability? He said, the first thing we need to do is stop listening to the reporters. Then he says, I need to take more accountability. No, Rodgers, you should have just said, hey, it's all my fault. I need to take more accountability. Instead, you didn't really say that to you on the Pat McAfee show. And then the last thing before we get to the season standings is the Bucks. As many of you did not watch that game, the Bucks lost, but they lost two key pieces. Godwin is out for the rest of the year with it looks like his ankle, and Mike Evans will be out till week 12 with a hamstring injury. So the Bucks are really in trouble now. So they could be lose that division to Atlanta or even miss the playoffs depending how the rest of the season goes. Week 12 is, I know week 12 is not that far away. We're about to enter week 8, but it doesn't get easy for Tampa because Tampa's bye week's not to week 11. So, but taking a look at the standings real quick. Travers is in first place with 70-37. I'm in second at 68-39. Rosie, she had that terrible week a few weeks ago, is 61-46. Dave is 59-48. Tasik is 58-49. And then Corey is still in last place at 56-51. So there is that. By the way, so there is that. So let's get to the college games real quick before I give you guys the things you need to know about for the games you can watch in your area for the NFL this coming week. For college this week, we have Pittsburgh against Syracuse. I am taking Pittsburgh. Tasik, what about you? Pittsburgh or Syracuse?
Give me Syracuse.
Syracuse, all right. Rays, do you watch college football? All right, we'll skip Rays. Game 2 is Rutgers versus USC. That's the Trojans. I got Rutgers. This is Navy, which I will be watching this game Saturday at 12 o'clock. I'm taking my Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Tasik?
It's alright, I gotta go with Navy.
Wait. SMU versus Duke. I got SMU.
Give me SMU.
All right. Michigan versus Michigan State.
I'm gonna take Michigan.
All right. And Corey's joined us in the comments. He's got, hey Corey, by the way, welcome to the show tonight. He's got Navy and SMU. And the last one we have is Colorado versus Cincinnati. I got Colorado.
You gotta give me Cincinnati.
All right, Cincinnati for you. And Coy, because you you might have missed the first two. Pittsburgh and Syracuse, Coy, and then Rutgers versus USC. All right, now for those of you who do not have NFL Sunday Ticket, by the way, there are no teams with a bye this week. So set up your fantasy teams accordingly. There's no teams with a bye this week. The next time that happens is, I believe, in week 13. So keep that in mind. He's got Rutgers and Pitt. So if you don't have Sunday Ticket or Red Zone, depending on what state you live in will decide what game you get on CBS at 1 o'clock. If you live in Virginia, you will be getting Baltimore versus Cleveland on that game. Or most of the U.S. will get Philadelphia, Cincinnati. Some parts will get Indianapolis, Houston. And if you live in the upper New York area, you'll be getting Jets and New England. Now remember, Philly and Cincinnati was to be a 4:25 game, but they moved that to 1 o'clock, and the Bears-Redskin game is now at 4:25, so keep that in mind. As for your late games, CBS, you will be watching Chicago and Washington if you live in the Virginia area. Most everyone else, for the most part, will either get Kansas City, Las Vegas, or Carolina at Denver. And then if you got Fox, well, bad news for you Fox viewers, because, yeah, you kind of only get one game this week because of the situations. So depending where you live at decides that. And if you live in Virginia, you will be getting Green Bay versus Jacksonville, or you'll be getting Atlanta at Tampa Bay. If you're up in the northern New York area, you will be getting the late game of Buffalo at Seattle. Or if you live in the Chargers, New Orleans area, you will most likely be getting New Orleans against the Chargers if you live in those part of the area. Everyone else, you either get Green Bay, Jacksonville, Tennessee, Detroit, or Arizona, Miami. So there is that. And taking a look at the draft standings right now, because remember, we got a few tank bowls this weekend, baby! We know I love me a good old tank bowl, because both teams suck. Of course, we have a super tank bowl next week featuring the New England Patriots and the Tennessee Titans. That is next Sunday. I will be watching that game. I will be forcing people to watch that game with me if I can, because I want us all to watch the glory of the tank. But your pick top 5 in the NFL draft order right now is number 1, New England, followed by Carolina, Cleveland, Tennessee, and then the Jets. But New England and Tennessee will cancel each other out as they do play against each other next week. And currently, if you look at some mock standings of the draft, the first person going will be Travis Hunter, cornerback, wide receiver to New England. And then Deion Sanders' son, quarterback from Colorado, going to Carolina. Cleveland will draft a defensive lineman. Tennessee will draft a quarterback, Cameron Ward, if I'm pronouncing his name correctly. And then the Jets are favorite if it looks... Thank you, Tasic. And then Tennessee will be drafting Will Johnson, quarterback. That is the projected spots at the moment, but we know those can change. But let's get to the picks. Of course, we have game 1 on Thursday night, tomorrow night. Kind of an interesting matchup, particularly with what's... Coy says Sanders to the Raiders. We shall see if that happens, if Raiders continue to fall, if they make a trade. But the first game we have, it is tomorrow night in beautiful... Well, California's not beautiful at all. It's an ugly fucking place. As it is the Rams at home taking on the Minnesota Vikings. Vikings just lost their first game of the season, losing to Detroit near the end. And Rams kind of got an easy win over the banged-up Raiders. Here's the thing, guys. I don't trust the Rams at all. You know, I did pick them last week. I don't trust them personally. So give me the Vikings. I think Vikings get a bounce-back win. They got better weapons. And with the Cooper Kupp situation and Matthew Stafford situation, I feel like Rams are just kind of ready to just pack it in. You know, they're not out of a playoff fight, but I think Rams are just going to pack it in. Coy says Vikings. Rams DBs are beat up. Tazak, who do you got?
Give me the Rams.
All right, one for the Rams. I'm going to mark that down as TC so I can give them to Travis and Dave later, and Rosie. All right, up next. By the way, Rays, if you're still with us, thank you, because I know hopefully next year we can get you in this league and you can have some fun. Vikings were okay. So Rays is taking Vikings. You know his pick will not count because he's not in our league this year, but we're going to let him have fun. Up next, it is the Okay, I'm not even going to even attempt to pretend anyone's going to take the home team in this. It's the Baltimore Ravens on the road against the Browns. Browns have pretty much got rid of Cooper Kupp, starting the backup quarterback. Yeah, Nick Chubb's back, but he didn't play that great. The defense is still terrible for Cleveland. Browns, I think, at this point are just ready to pack it in and give up on the season. Give me Baltimore. This would be Baltimore's... Oh. Mike Cooper, sorry. Sorry, I'm on no sleep today. I've had no sleep. I have been up for 24 hours. Sorry. My foot has been a bitch. So give me my mom's Ravens. Corey is taking the Ravens. Browns are a dumpster fire, he says. Tasik?
Give me the Ravens.
Ravens. All right. Up next, and I think we're all probably going to go with the home team here. The Tennessee Titans pretty much after shipping off whatever the hope and pieces they had left. Lions are at home. Give me the Detroit Lions. Corey says Lions and a close game. All right. Tasik, what about you? Are you going to take the most hated team in America right now after what they did today, the Titans, or are you taking Detroit?
I'd be stupid to go with the most hated team. Give me the Lions.
All right. And Rays, what about you? Detroit. All right. Up next, and I'm going to be honest here. This was my hardest pick. And I was still saving this one because of Tuilaola. I kept bouncing back and forth on this one, and I'm probably going to surprise people with this pick. It is the Cardinals on the road against the Dolphins. Here's the thing. Tuilaola will be his first game back, but he's already said he's not going to change how he plays. He's not going to wear the special helmet that would stop him from getting concussions or anything like that. So Tua will be playing, but with all his injuries, I feel like at this point, and I don't mean to sound like a hateful person, I feel like if he's not going to want to wear the equipment that's going to help him from not getting more brain damage, and all that. Dave says hello. Hello, Dave. I hope your dad's feeling better. Hello, Mr. Dave's dad. Hope you're doing all right if you can hear us. So even with that Tua playing, I think it's a bad idea. If he gets injured again, I hope the NFL needs to step in and force him to retire, because you've gotten more concussions than most people have gotten in a lifetime. Now, I've not been the biggest fan of the Arizona Cardinals, unfortunately, as many of you know. But this is the one time I think I'm going to say this year, I think. I am taking the Arizona Cardinals to win on the road over the Dolphins. Just because I don't trust Tuilaola not getting injured again. Corey's got the Cards. Finn suck without Tula. Tula playing. Let me change my pick. Oh! Corey, wait a minute. You're going to change your pick to the Dolphins, because I've already sent the pick list to the picks you sent me to Travis and Dave. So if you're going to change it, let me know so I can let Travis know. But Tasik, are you going to take the Cardinals like you've been doing all year, or are you going to jump ship and go to the Dolphins?
Oh man, you got me in a pickle here. I think I'm going to stick with my Cards.
All right, you're going to stick with the Cardinals. All right.
Cardinals.
So that is Cards for you. And Rays, who are you taking? Cardinals or Dolphins if you had a pick in this? Cardinals. All right. Now, Corey, if you want to switch your pick, either type the Dolphins you're going to take or you're going to stay with the Cardinals. I'm going to give you a chance just because many people may have not known Tuilaola is planning to play Sunday. So I'm going to give everyone a chance to change that pick if they so want to. I'm only doing this because, many people may have not did that. Okay, so you're taking the Fins. All right, I will let Travis know that right now so I can get that took care of. So while that's going up next, against the New England Patriots. Well, Ray's your Patriots fan. Do you think the Patriots have a shot? All right, so you're taking the Jets. I'm taking the Jets as well. I'm not been the biggest fan, but it's the Patriots. They're rebuilding. Tasik?
me the Jets.
All right, so you're taking the Jets as well. Like I said, I will give everyone's Rosie and Travis's and Dave's pick at the end. So up next, Falcons and Bucks. Of course, we already know Tampa Bay's coming in injured. Atlanta did get destroyed by Seattle, but Atlanta did win the game a few weeks ago against Tampa. So, Tasik, floor is yours on this one. You want to talk about your
I gotta
Falcons?
stick with my dirty bird. Nah, I don't want to talk about it. They had one bad game. We almost took down the Chiefs. It was just one off game.
All right, fair enough. Rays, what about you? Atlanta won the first game in overtime. Bucks, all right. And just to get a quick update from Corey, he's got New England winning. So there is somebody on your side, all right, he's taking the Patriots, and he's got the Falcons winning as well. Now, here's the thing. This was my second hardest pick because of the injuries to Tampa. Mike Evans is out to week 12. Godwin is out for the rest of the season. I'm like, man, and I'm like, I remember the last game, Atlanta won because Tampa's defense imploded at the end, at that game in overtime. So, guess what? I am taking Kirk Cousins. I'm going to wear the jersey if I had one, and I am taking the Falcons to win that game. And I'm sure Tazza just died of heart failure like everybody else.
I'm excited. I'm so proud of you, Doug. You're growing up so much.
And I try to grow up. Up next, this is not a 1 o'clock game, like I said. This is now a 4:25 game. It is the Bears on the road against the Redskins. And I know the Redskins quarterback is playing with some hurt ribs. He will be playing, it looks like, this weekend. Bears, you know, got that good defense. But Washington's got a good defense. Well, this is really an interesting pick. But I'm taking the Redskins to win this game. I just like what they've been doing. I liked what the Bears have been doing as well, but I have more faith in the Skins coaching staff more than anything. Koya's taking the Bears. Tasik, what about you?
What was the game again? Sorry.
Redskins and Bears.
Give me the Commanders.
All right, so that's all that. And Rays? Bears are up. Fair enough. Fair enough. What scares me right now, me and Tasik have not disagreed on too many. Up next, I don't think anyone's really taking the home team in this one. Packers and Jags. Texans, give me the Packers here. I don't trust the Jags at all. So, go Packers. Tasik, Packers or Jags?
You know, give me Jordan Love and the Packers.
All right, and Corey says, go, Pack, go. Yeah, I agree. I learned my lesson after last week. Up next, it will be the Colts on the... Yeah, cheese. Have some cheese. Have some cheese. Sorry, I was watching some Steve Urkel this morning. Up next, it is the Texans at home against the Colts. Now, kind of an interesting matchup because these are the only real two good teams in their division. So this is kind of... Whoever wins this will have that good division lead for a while. I'm taking the Texans. Colts, I'm sorry, if they don't have Joe playing, they suck. And Corey's taking the Texans. Richardson is the worst QB I've ever watched. I have to agree. And I mean, I like the kid. He says all the right things, but he is just too injury prone. I think Joe should be the starter at this point because they've played better with him in it. But I don't see the Colts doing that, so give me the Texans. Tasik, Texans or Colts?
Give me the Colts.
Oh, wow. My mom would want to kill you. All
Probably.
Because you know how she was from being a Baltimore girl. Rays, what about you, my friend? Okay. And breaking news from Travis, he is also switching his pick. He is picking the Dolphins because Tuilarola is playing. They have said he is playing, so unless something happens in the next few days, Tula will be the starter for the Dolphins. We'll have to see if they're telling the truth on that or not. I'm going to say this right now, though, before we move on. If the Dolphins are lying, that saying, oh, Tula's going to play, and then the day of the game they bench him, yeah, it's going to look a little suspicious. I'm just saying. Up next, we head back to L.A., as the Chargers take on the Saints. Chargers lost a heartbreaker on Monday night, losing because they couldn't get any touchdowns. You know, the kicker had a great game. Saints got obliterated by the fucking Broncos. Like, oh, God. It felt like I was playing Resident Evil watching that game. That game was so bad, I actually stopped and played Mortal Kombat. Saints have so many injuries, and I'm just going to point this out. Since the Saints blew out the Cowboys a few weeks ago, they have not won a game since. So I am taking the Chargers at home to win this game. Coy is also taking the Chargers here as well. Tastic, what about you? Chargers or Saints?
I'm also taking the Chargers.
All right. Put a TC above the name there. And Rays, who would you be taking in this situation? All right. Up next, we're heading to Seattle, Washington, home of Daniel Bryan, Starbucks, and probably Silent Hill, as many times as it rains there. As the Seahawks are at home against the Bills. Both teams coming off some good wins here, respectively. Granted, Seahawks were a little bit better because they beat the Falcons. Bills destroyed a team that doesn't exist in the Titans. Give me the Bills, sir. I think, they got everything they need right now. Josh Allen's been playing great. He should be in talks for MVP because he's been leading in a lot of categories. I don't even think he's thrown an interception this year. I don't think he has. So give me the Bills here. Corey is taking the Bills, saying Josh Allen is a football god. He probably is at this point. Plus, he has a good box of cereal. I've tried that cereal thanks to one of the stores here that sells New York-related food. Tastic, Bills or Seahawks?
Give me the Seahawks.
Oh, wow. Interesting. And Rays, what about you? It is in Seattle, yes. Bills, all right. Now, yeah, trust me and Travis do that a lot. Now, the next game, remember, this is not at 4:25. This is now a 1 o'clock game. Eagles at Bengals. Now, Bengals, after that bad start, they turned it around a bit. They're kind of being competitive now. It looks like they could maybe steal a wild card spot depending how things go. Eagles, they have not gotten off the pot that well. They have not got a touchdown, I believe, yet in the first quarter. I think they're the only team who have not gotten a touchdown in the first quarter. I might be wrong on that. But, the Eagles do have better weapons. But because of how bad they are at starting off games, I think it's going to hurt Philly a bit. So give me WKRP Cincinnati as the Bengals get their first win at home as well this year. Go Bengals. Corey's got the Eagles. Tastic, Bengals or Eagles? Bengals, all right. I'll be on the back page now for the rest of this. All right, up next, this game is hard to decide because of how teams are. The Carolina Panthers, oh, by the way, Rays, Eagles or Bengals? Eagles on that one. All right, up next, the Denver Broncos are at home against the Panthers. Now, I will say this, my prayers and everything to Andy Dalton and his family. They were in a car wreck yesterday. No one passed away. Everyone's fine, but still, I wish them the best of luck and healing. So I don't know if Dalton will be starting or not for the Panthers. It looks like he will be because he didn't suffer any damages, but we'll have to see what happens. I know Denver just got destroyed on Thursday night, but It's Carolina. I don't think Denver's going to get blown out or lose this game. If they do, I am personally going to say this: Denver should be disqualified the rest of the season. Should have to forfeit the rest of their games because it is Carolina, who purposely has nothing to play for, nothing to win for. So give me the Broncos here. Corey is taking the Broncos as well. Tasic?
Give me the Broncos.
All right, and Rays. Panthers, all right. That one, yeah. So you got to hope the Patriots they'll lose next week to the Titans. That kind of helps there. All right, last 4:25 game of the week. It is the Chiefs against the Raiders. Chiefs just got a new weapon. Raiders, they're starting rookie quarterbacks now on IR for the next 4 weeks due to the injury there. Raiders also have a lot of other issues. Unfortunately, even Corey's taking the Chiefs here because that is his rival, but yeah, I had to go with the Chiefs as well. I just don't see how the Raiders are right now. Them winning this game just because there's a lot of issues going on with injuries and then other things. So give me the Chiefs. Tazek, what about you? Chiefs or Raiders?
I went up against them every single game this season. I'm going to do it again.
All right. Fair enough. Now the Sunday night game, which I'm sure this one I was hoping Dave would be on, but I know he's dealing with his family, so that is okay. Family's more important. Cowboys and Niners. This to me feels like a do or die game for both, because after this the Niners go into a bye week, so they can heal up. But remember, they're going to be without 2 of their best wide receivers. One is done for the year. One is in the hospital with pneumonia. Christian McCaffrey is still not back. He's not projected to be back till week 10, it looks like, at this point. And they got injuries on defense. Dallas, kind of the same thing. A lot of injuries on their defense right now. Looks like maybe some of them will play this Sunday, may not. Dallas has really not been up wanting to lose. Hasn't really said yet, more or less. And then, of course, Dallas has no running game at all, so depending on the passing. So, I firmly believe whoever loses this game might just want to tell their injured players, you know what, the season's a wash. We're just going to sit you down, now have you play the rest of the year, we'll try again next year. And even if the team who wins this game, I still have a feeling they're going to have a hard time making the playoffs because Atlanta's looking good. You have the Bucks, even though they got the injuries, they will get Mike Evans back in week 12 so they can still turn it around. You have the Packers who are winning season. The Bears are having a winning season. The Lions are having a winning season. The Vikings just lost their first game. I firmly believe that if it goes the way it's going, you'll probably see maybe all 4 teams from you'll see the Vikings, Packers, Bears, and Lions make it, so they'll take 3 of the wild card spots, and then Tampa and Atlanta will battle it out for a home game. Washington might ease their way into their division title, and right now it looks like Seattle and Arizona would be the best team in their division because Rams are kind of rebuilding, and the Niners got hit with the Madden curse so bad it's not even funny. So, to me, this is do or die. If you think this is a do or die game for both teams, let me know. But I'm taking the Cowboys here. That is my team. I'm going to go down with the ship. Go down, as I always say. If the Cowboys do lose, I will be singing the theme song from Yu Yu Hakusho next week. Of course, I know Dave will be taking his 49ers here, so I already know that. Corey is also taking the 49ers. Tasik, what about you? Cowboys or Niners?
Give me the Cowboys.
At least I know I'm not alone this week. And Rays, if you were making a pick. I forgot when, yeah, sorry. Oh, wow. And then the Monday night game, and then, of course, like I said, after this, we'll go to Rosie, Dave's, and Travis's picks. We'll give you the games for college next week as well, and we'll look ahead to Week 9's games, which one of them is already changed for primetime, as we know, as I sent that to everyone. Steelers and Giants. Steelers are at home this week. They just beat the Jets. Steelers looking good, Defense is playing great. Offense is looking pretty well. And then, the Giants, well, they have an identity crisis right now because you got a quarterback who's upset and feels like the team's given up on him, and the coach, They don't have a running game. They don't have a receiving game. They don't have an offensive line. They don't have a defense. They don't have a kicker. They don't even have pretty good-looking women to be the cheerleaders. They have no good-looking women in the stands. So give me the Steelers here. I see nothing good about the Giants. The only good thing for New York, the Bills are winning, and the Yankees might win the World Series. Other than that, New York, it fucking sucks to be you. Corey is taking the Steelers. Tasek, what about you? Steelers or Giants?
I'm also going to take the Steelers. Last couple times I picked the Giants, they have lost, so.
Fair enough. And Rays, what about you? Yes, somebody knows you're an 83. We're going to the Super Bowl. Get those yellow towels out. Yaser mode activated. Yes, I do watch him. I find him funny. Ncaa, yeah, Ncaa. I watch all those guys. They're fun. Yeah, he's fun. He's one of the few Packer fans besides Travis I like. So, now let's look at the other three people we have who are not with us tonight. These are Rosie's picks for this week. She's got the Rams, Ravens, Detroit, Arizona, New England, Atlanta, Chicago, Green Bay, Colts, Chargers, Buffalo, Philly, Denver, Kansas City, San Francisco, and the Steelers winning this week. Ironically enough, she's actually been the only one who's picked against her team the most. I should point that out. So there is that. All right, as far as for Dave, who's not with us, like I said, Dave has the following. Dave has the Vikings, Falcons, Commanders, Jets, Packers, Lions, Cardinals, Ravens, Texans, Chargers, Bills Mafia, Broncos, Bengals, Chiefs, his 49ers, and the Steel Curtain of Pittsburgh. And then Travis, he did switch the Cards game. He's taking the Dolphins to win that game now, but he's got the Vikings, his Packers, the Jets, Jets, Eagles, Lions, Falcons, Dolphins, Ravens, Texans, Chargers, Bills Mafia, the Redskins, which I know one of my friends from high school, Kendra, I love you, but I still probably would never stop calling them the Redskins, so if you don't like that I call them the Redskins on my channel, do me a favor, form a line, put some lip balm on, and kiss my ass. I still call the Raiders Oakland on occasion, and the Chargers San Diego, so blah. Where was I? Oh yeah, Broncos, Chiefs, Niners, and the Steelers he has there. Now, let's take a look at the college games, because I've been spinning the wheel, make the deal for next week. So let's see what the You gotta be fucking kidding me!
There's Notre Dame again.
No, not Notre Dame. No. Not Notre Dame. We have 1, 2, 3 teams who are cheered for in this group playing. And oh, by the way, we just had most of these teams either this week or last week. So the college game is next week. Tennessee against Kentucky. Oregon versus Michigan. SMU versus Pitt. Virginia Tech versus Syracuse. Boise State versus San Diego State. And then Colorado State versus Nevada. How did this... Okay, I gotta shoot the wheel of fate, because we're literally getting 1, 2, 3, 4 teams from this week who are next week. And then, oh yeah, we're getting Virginia Tech, who was just week 8. So it's like, what the hell? I hate the wheel of fate. I hate the wheel of fate so much. I hate it. Oh, please, college gods, be nice to us in week 11 when that happens. But next week, week 9, your Thursday night game is the Texans and Jets. Your Sunday night game is now the Colts against Minnesota. Remember, originally it was going to be the Eagles at home against the Jags, but the Jaguars suck, so F off on that. The Bucks play the Chiefs on prime time next Monday. As far as for the teams we need to be worried about in this show, the Packers are at home against Detroit. My mom's Ravens are at home against the Broncos. My Cowboys play the Falcons. So me and Tasik will be different on that one. Ray's teams plays the Patriots, which will be for the Super Tank Bowl. So yeah, that is next week, guys. Niners are on a bye next week, so keep up on your fantasy teams on that. Now, give me a few minutes to rest, guys, my voice, because then we're going to hop on over to my Week 8 matchup where I coach the Titans to take on... Who the fuck do we take on again in this week? Oh, yeah, the Lions. But, before we go, does anyone have anything to say for what the college games are next week, or anything like that?
The Tennessee game should be an easy pick after that game that they just had against Florida, and then Tennessee's game against Alabama.
Fair enough, fair enough. Raze, what about you, my friend? They might be. But that's going to do it for us tonight. Of course, we will be back here next Wednesday for week 9 of the NFL and week 10 of college. Of course, like I said, I will be doing the game against the Lions in a little bit. Can I go 7-0 with Kirk Cousins and the Tennessee Titans? Or with Jordan Love and the Detroit Lions giving my first out? Because remember, we did do a fantasy draft. Find out in a little bit. Until then, have a good rest of your night, and peace out, everybody.